See, the thing, guys, that I want to explain is that you never need validation from other people. You understand? So I made a lot of mistakes where I was sending my music to other people and I was expecting them to say something about it, for example, but they never did. I promise you, these people never said anything about my music or anything like that. And they're not trying to kill me or anything. But the thing is that it's much more how they disappointed me because I was expecting something in return from them, like some words of advice or some words of wisdom for my music or anything like that. But the thing is that it doesn't work that way. You never expect the universe to give you anything. You understand? But what you have today is what's giving on to you. I mean, in a sense, so you have to understand that in life you have to go one way. You have to grow. You have to be the best version of yourself. You have to make sure every single day of your life that you're really, really going to be straightforward with what you're thinking, and that way you really grow. So, for example, the reason a woman's not in my life, for example, is because I never chose to have a woman. Do you understand? So I had a lot of women in my life before, and I was on the drugs. I wasn't at my best version, and I still had women in my life. Do you understand? And the thing is that the difference between me now and me before is much more that I'm aware today as much as I can be. I'm much more aware than yesterday, and I'm much more taking action upon things in life where I'm doing things around communication work and also information work. But the thing is that now, since I'm in this position, I have to be in this position. And now, why do I have to be in this position? Because I have to grow from it. So, no matter what's happening in my life, I have to grow regardless of the situation. So, you have to understand that yesterday I fell asleep and I didn't feel like doing any work. And when I don't feel like doing any work, I just feel like sleeping. You understand? So, I slept for 13 hours. You understand? I slept a long time. I was just very tired and I didn't feel like doing anything. I was just unmotivated to do anything. And now my body is never tired, but my brain gets tired. You understand? My brain gets tired. And now you have to understand that you always have to have a good schedule of sleep. Every single day you have to sleep at the best time for you. And you never sleep at the right time. You never sleep in the wrong time either. You sleep at the best time for you. So sometimes whenever it's best for you to sleep or to take a nap, make sure that you sleep and get enough sleep for yourself. So you have to understand that 13 hours for me of sleep was enough for me, for example. So you have to understand sometimes I sleep on 7 hours, sometimes on 10 hours, sometimes on 9, 8 hours, sometimes with 5 hours, but it depends. But the thing is, it's much more how you always have to grow yourself regardless of the situation. So if you expect people to be in your life, then you're going to be disappointed. You understand? You have to understand that it's much more how people are always in your life. Promise you overall, look at the overall picture. Promise you, people are giving you overall. Promise you, overall, people are giving you from different sources of information. And now I have to always seek out the information. And where is that information that I'm seeking out right now in my life? So through books and through Spotify and through YouTube and through Google is the only places that I seek information, and through life like the TV, and also through people in general when I go traveling somewhere. Unfortunately, that's the only time I speak to people, for example, when I go traveling somewhere. And you must understand, it's much more how you have to always travel in your life. You have to pick up your suitcase, you have to go somewhere nice and beautifully. You have to understand that you have to be a lightweight in life. And you have to understand to have the best body weight, best version of yourself every single day, learning how to progress forward, learning how to understand something about life. Approach that's the best way. So you have to understand that my audio programs are much better than you're saying now. And now more than ever, guys, I'm making a difference. I'm making a difference in people's lives through information. So I'm just speaking information out there. I'm trying to help myself in the best way that I can every single day through information. So it's much more how I seek out information every single day. I'm seeking out things to do, things to say, things to produce, for example, and I'm giving ideas. But that's what you need to be doing. You need to be able to produce ideas as much as you can in life so that you can get somewhere. You understand? So the more music I make, the better type of music I make. You understand? So the thing is that I produced a lot of music until now. But if you look at the picture, if you look at the big picture, it's not much music that I produced. in life. I produce something and I produce some experiences of music production and stuff like that, but I'm not at the stage that I want to be. But I am better than before. In a sense, so I'm doing much better than before in terms of my mixing and in terms of mastering and technology, in terms of learning technology and all that. But the thing is that right now, my music production is much better than yesterday in terms of sound and in terms of design and in terms of melodies and all that kind of stuff. So that's beautiful when you can always understand that you either do life coaching or music production in a day and you're just doing something to help yourself to succeed. But I'm not just a music producer, and that's the thing. I'm a life coach as well. You understand? I like to do both. I like to progress my life in different ways. See, that's what you guys need to do. You have to understand. You have to progress your life in different ways. So when you have nothing to do, speak words. If you have nothing to do, make sure that you do something to succeed. Make sure every single day that you find something to do that is your passion, and you sit down, you write everything out. You understand that you have to get your information across to other people and try to do that the most you can. You know what I'm saying? Try to push yourself to do that every single day. You know what I'm saying? When you push yourself to create something for yourself, post it up on YouTube and just let it be. And then eventually you're going to get so good at music production or life coaching or whatever it is. And then you're going to be able to speak those words really fluently. And you're going to be able to teach people exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. You understand? So the reason my music production is much better than yesterday now is because I use a plugin called Maximus. And this Maximus program gets me to see the low end and the middle end and the high end. And I mix and I EQ from that point of view. You understand? So I use my EQ. I'm understanding how to really, really put my kick and my bass at the level of insanity in terms of sane ways of life. And I'm understanding it's much more how my kicks and my bass line is always rhythmic. I mean, yes, and it's always pumping through. The kick is always pumping through the mix because of the EQ. But it's much more how they don't teach you this. I promise you, they don't teach you how to really, really mix your standards. But you have to understand they teach you if you give them money, for example. But the thing is that they don't teach you exactly how to do it because they don't know how to do it themselves. In a sense, so the thing is that nobody really knows, and people are really making money on things that they don't know how to do. In a sense, so for example, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not making money, but the thing is that I'm making money in other ways. I'm producing content, and that's what that's the important thing that I have to recognize every single day. That the more I produce content, the more I can inspire somebody like you to succeed and to go your own way and to really, really live life to the best potential that you can live, for example. So why am I not making money from other people in terms of why is the universe not giving me money to succeed right now? And you have to understand that the universe is giving me the disability support pension. You understand? So the universe is giving me money to do my work in one way or shape or form. But eventually I understand that the universe is going to get me off the disability support pension because that's something that I want to do eventually. And now, eventually, I'm not going to be able to afford things on the disability support pension. But the thing is that it's much more how the disability support pension alone is not going to get me a life that I need in my life. And now, what type of life do I need? I need kids. I need a wife. I need a wife and kids. But the thing is that if it doesn't show up in my life, then I'm going to be happy alone. I promise you, it's no problem. But the thing is that if I want something more like a wife or kids, I have to have more money in my pocket, which means I have to go work a 9 to 5 job while on the disability support pension or without the disability support pension. So it just depends. It depends where I'm going to live. I might live in Germany. I might live in Australia, but it's one of those. It's either in Germany I'm going to live or Australia. So I'm understanding that. That's no problem. But the thing is, I have to be in Australia right now since I'm on a disability support pension and since I'm on medication, really. So I have to be in Australia to grow myself and to become my best version and to do everything that I can to succeed in this kind of fashion for myself. And the reason for that is because they put me on medication. Now, the universe put me on medication and is giving me a disability support pension for that. and I have to be like this. So the universe wants me like this. Yes, and the universe wants me to be in this position. And why is that? I mean, I asked the universe, why do you want me to be on medication? Well, the universe says that's how it is. And saying the universe wants me to be on medication because it's something that the universe is doing a higher work for me and is doing a higher work for the universe. And that way, through me, I'm understanding that I can fulfill the universe's dreams and I can really, really speak those words out while I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job right now, for example. And I can really, really do my passions and I can succeed in my passion, for example. So you have to understand that people don't have time. I mean, yeah, a lot of people don't have time to do anything. I mean, they work a 9 to 5, they go after 9 to 5, they maybe go poker, maybe they go out somewhere, maybe to a nightclub or whatever, and or maybe with the family, you understand? But the thing is that it's either they go work and they go home. I'm pretty sure work and home is where people go the most. I mean, in a sense, so the thing is that many people are struggling today in terms of the economy is falling down, and lots of politics are making this come true for themselves, like where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe that anyone gets poorer and poorer. I don't believe that people get richer and richer. What I believe is I believe nothing about this world. Do you understand? I don't believe anything that I can see. You understand? I believe something that I understand, that I know nothing. You understand? The thing is that you have to understand, you must not believe in anything. You understand? Don't believe in anything and you'll find something to believe in. You understand? So the thing is that it's much more how in life people go through life in different ways. And you guys have to understand that people go different ways in life. So the thing is that nobody's on your path. You have to understand, nobody's on your path except you. You're the only one that's going on your path. You're the only one that knows what's best for you. You understand? There's nobody else in the planet who you can give money to tell you really, really how to live life. You understand? Only you can see exactly what you need to do to take those steps forward in your life to see exactly what you need to do. You have to understand that before in my life, I was very unaware of the person I am today. You understand? I was very unaware of what I can do in terms of words and in terms of music. You have to understand, I quit music production. I gave up totally. I was like, no, it's not for me. You understand? And the thing is that eventually I got myself back into it and I said, wow, I have music ability over here. I can create some music. I can make something come true for myself. And the thing is that many people go through life listening to other people's music because they don't have their own music. I mean, you understand? Because they're not making their own music and they're listening to other people's music and making other people their favorite type of artists and type of stuff like that because they're not doing music themselves. But I've been doing music production for 4 years now, and every single time I make a track or every single time I do something, I learn a bit more. I just learn a bit more every single time. You understand? And the thing is that eventually you have to learn from other people exactly what they are doing so that you can implement it into your work. Do you understand? So you have to understand it's really easy for me now to make a music track happen, and that's just standard in terms of that sounds good on earphones and sounds good on headphones. But I can make it sound good on speakers as well. And now if you make music production, then you have to make music production on the speakers because the speakers will truly show you exactly your sound. I mean, it will show you exactly what you need to understand about producing music. But the thing is that many people choose a career of music production and then they fall short of the glory. I mean, you have to understand that it's much more how they don't get places really like, for example, festivals, and they don't make it in life to the point that they want to, you understand? But there's many people like that in life in terms of other areas as well, where they're not fulfilling their dreams and they're not fulfilling exactly what they need to do in life. So what do you do in that instance where you're not fulfilling your dreams? You just go inside. You just really, really help yourself to do the best work you can every single day and just focus on yourself. I mean, if you're not something much more in life, then make sure you just be more for yourself regardless of the situation and try to amplify exactly what you have in life. Try to have much more in terms of wisdom every single day. So that's what you need. I'm pretty sure wisdom is what you're searching for in that type of regard. So you understand it's not about DJing, it's about the wisdom of DJing. You understand? It's about the wisdom there. I promise you, it's not about real estate. I promise you, it's about the wisdom of real estate. You understand? Learning the arts of wisdom about that situation and about real estate and stuff like that. So you have to understand that eventually you have to walk it yourself. Promise you, nobody's gonna make you a millionaire on your own. I mean, you have to understand nobody's gonna throw money at you, calling you a millionaire. Do you understand? So the thing is that millionaires became millionaires because they grew from where they are, and because they found out some wisdom behind how to do that in today's world. Do you understand? And that's it. I promise you, that's the difference between the rich and poor, is wisdom. I promise you, the more education you have in life, the better for you. I promise you. So many people go and get their education from university these days, but the thing is that universities are very slow to teach you life. I mean, you understand? They teach you the subject of what you want to learn, but they're very slow to teach you life. Do you understand? And the thing is that it's much more how you can always be self-educated. Do you understand? You can always read much more books about yourself and about other people and about different subjects every single day. You can understand that you have to read daily. You have to put your mindset into it. You have to understand you have to get somewhere fast. You understand? So the more fast you produce music, or the more fast you do anything in life, the better for you. I mean, in a sense, so it's much more how it is. So every single day, try to focus on yourself much more and try to do much more of a better job for yourself, because you're always going to take yourself on a journey somewhere when you speak words and when you do something. But you have to understand it's a lone road. I promise you, it's such a lone road. You have to understand you have to go alone. I mean, yes, and you have to understand that nobody's going to produce the music for you. I promise you, nobody's going to speak the words for you. You understand? So you're someone that has to do it for yourself. You understand? So the thing is that everyone else is in the same position as me. You understand? So the thing is that the difference between me and them is wisdom. You understand? I have much more wisdom than they do. You understand? And the thing is that it's much more how I am. I am this way because I'm contradictory in what I say. You understand? I do one thing, but I also understand how to do it another way. And I understand exactly how to do things differently in every single regard. Yes, and that's what you need always, a better attitude every single day, understanding much more about life, understanding to document your life as much as you can. Yes, and that's what you need to do. And the more you document your life, the better for you, the more you're going to succeed. You understand? But you have to understand that I don't want other people to do the audio programs for me. I want to be able to do it myself. You understand? So, do I want people to do music for me? Probably no. I want to do it myself. And it's much better for me to do it myself than to have other people do it for me. Do you understand? So, I understand how alone, I understand how alone you can get in life. In life, you get really alone. And it's much better to be alone than with people who never love you. You understand? It's much better to be alone than with fake people who talk bad about you and stuff like that. You understand? So it's better to be around yourself the most in life, of course, because that way you really find your way. You understand? You have much more peace and quiet this way when you live alone. Do you understand? But everybody has to do things differently. Everyone has to go their own way. You understand? And that's the thing about life. You have to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. You have to grow from where you are. You understand? And when you grow from where you are, you just make something come true for yourself. You just make some kind of audio program or anything that's going to help other people. And that way you grow. Yes, and you grow because you're growing yourself. You're growing the type of person you are in terms of words. Do you understand? And that's the only point of recommendation that I give you in this audio program is make sure you grow every single day, doing something different. Every single day, going a different way that you've never been before. You understand? You have to do that for yourself. So this audio program is one way. I go a different road. You understand? I go somewhere different. So what do I need right now? I just need to talk, and I just need to make sure that I'm talking for myself. But you have to understand that sports don't teach you much. I promise you. You have to understand that life doesn't teach you much in life. You have to understand that life teaches you only when you learn something. You understand? So when you are learning, really, then only you are learning for yourself. I mean, everybody's on their own path, for example, learning. I mean, they're learning something different. And everybody has different types of wisdom. In a sense, so everyone's different in their intake of whatever's happening around them. So you have to always understand that in life you're gonna go separate ways with people. People are gonna go different ways, and because they're going different ways, they're not gonna be in your life. So your friends from now on are gonna go separate ways, and first you must understand that they're not going to be with you. So don't chase them. The more you chase other people, the more you lose yourself. So never chase other people. Make them chase you. Make them write to you. Never seek validation from other people. Never message other people, for example. Stick to yourself. But with with your family, I promise you make your family much more of a priority than your friends. And make sure they understand that it's much better to be alone than with your family. Just understand that. Because your family is always going to do things differently with you, and they're always going to give you their beliefs and stuff like that. But the thing is, they always want to shape you into their way of thinking. Do you understand? So I agree with everything and try to have a positive attitude regardless of what's going on. Do you understand? Sometimes it's much better to be silent than to get angry. Do you understand? So, for example, my mum always tries to make me angry, for example, and I just go silent instead. I just be silent with her, because with her, you cannot teach her anything. For sure, with my mum, you cannot teach her because she thinks she knows it all and she thinks she's right all the time. You understand? So the thing is that with these people, they're dying fast. You understand? They're not really learners. They're not really growing. You understand? But the thing is that my mum and dad and other people don't see how much I've grown. You understand? They don't see that. You understand? They don't see how much more potential I have inside of me. You understand? My mum's telling me the other day to quit music production because I'm not making money from it. You understand? I'm not going to quit my passion just because of that. I'd rather do it for free all my life. So I'd rather do music production for free because it's just an outlet for me to live life. Regardless of if I make money on it or not, the thing is that eventually I'm going to get much better in music production, and that's all. I'm trying to perfect my music production much better every single day. I'm trying to practice music production to do much better in that. Regardless of how much music I make, I promise you eventually I'll get myself in a nightclub or something like that. I'll go DJ for free somewhere, or depends how it's going to be, but eventually I'm going to be able to get into a position where I can make other people's dreams come true with the music that I make or whatever it is. So it's much more how I understand I can start now. For example, I can go get a DJ deck, for example. I can go get a DJ deck for 1 month, rent it out, for example. Go online to Beatport, go buy some music, for example. Go buy some music for myself, make a 1 hour set or something like that. Put some of my music into it and then let it be. I'll put it into 137 BPM, and that way I just grow. And that way I understand it's much more how I can make a DJ deck, and then I can make a DJ set, and then I can go around asking for free DJing sets and stuff like that to DJ my music for free and stuff like that. And then it's much more how I can do it right now. And I can just use other people's music to DJ. It's no worries. But I want to get to the point where I make much more better music, where I get to play my music much more in terms of life, where I get to the point where my music sounds really good. Do you understand? And that's how I'm just perfecting my work. Do you understand? So the more I do my work, the better for me. And I grow like that. I grow differently. I'm always doing something different, but I'm understanding better how to mix my music now and how to also, for example, make my music happen. I'm getting much better in terms of how to EQ my music as well. So it's much more how in life you always have to understand much more about everything that you're doing. But I have to watch other people make music as well, and I'm going to get myself another 3 months of watching other people. I'm going to give them money over here to watch other people to just see how they make music and stuff like that. But it's just a slow journey. You have to understand everything's a slow journey in life. But how about my public speaking career? What will I do with that? I promise you now, busking performances is always going to be in my life. And what else? I promise you now, to make an event around myself somewhere, I promise you just busking. I promise you just busking for free and stuff like that is more than enough to get my message across. So I'm going to do it the most affordable way. You understand? So just go the most affordable way, because I don't want to be booking anything out there in terms of life where I give a lot of money or where I give money to make an event for myself. But the thing is that nothing is free from life. Unfortunately, nothing is free in life. You have to understand that in life, everything is money. I mean, you have to understand that. So money is not evil. You have to understand money is not evil, but what you can do with the money can be evil. You understand? So I understand that, for example, when I make events around myself, I just go busking. I go busking and I have people there, right there, watching me and stuff like that. And I build my communicational skills this way in front of people. But eventually I'm going to get back into fashion photos and stuff like that. And for my fashion photos, I'm just going to post my fashion photos into my YouTube channel all the way, as much as I can, and just repeat it. You understand? And that way it's going to be a different job. It's going to be something different all the time. And that way I just grow from whatever I have. Do you understand? I grow from the person I am, for example. But eventually that dies down as well. I mean, you have to understand, eventually you'll see my photos and I'll be something much more in age and stuff like that. But that's alright. Unfortunately, the thing is that the main thing is you keep the main thing, for example, and try to evolve with the times. For example, try to evolve yourself to do better, for example. You have to understand, in life it's always going to be the high road. You understand? You go the high road in life, you go help yourself to succeed. You understand? And that's what you need to do. So for example, someone's calling me. So anyway, so I just realized that when someone's calling me, I can pick up the phone, and what's going to happen is my audio program is going to resume once I finish the call. So for example, that's what happened. And I realized now for myself over here that if you really grow yourself, you just go the different way. You just make sure that you really live life. So it's much more how you always have to do something differently for yourself, and you have to grow and outgrow yourself all the time, and try to be as enthusiastic as possible for yourself, and just learn. I mean, just learn something different all the time. I'm understanding that life's going to take me on a different journey every single day. I'm always understanding that. So for example, in 2 days time, I'm going to be on the plane with my mum. For example, I'm going to go see my mum. I haven't seen her in 5 years. And the thing is that it's going to be a reunion and stuff like that. I'm going to see her for about 2.5 months. I'm going to be with my mum. And it's going to be different with my mum. I understand my mum's going to make me food and stuff like that. She's going to buy me clothes and stuff like that, because that's on her. I mean, she wants me to receive that from her as a present. And what I do is just help myself to understand much more. But that's how life is. You just go through life receiving something that the universe is giving to you and stuff like that. So the universe paid for my holiday to my mum's house, and also the universe gave me a disability support pension. The universe gave me a free life up until 30 years of age. I'm still over here living a free life, for example. Yes, and the thing is that what isn't a free life? What isn't a free life is when you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job that is something that you don't want to do, for example, and then you have to do it for money. You have to understand you don't do it for money, you just have to do it. But the thing is that it's anything that's not a free life is like, for example, when you're a slave to other people to live life. Do you understand? And the thing is that we're all slaves. I'm a slave to you for giving you information, for example. You have to understand everyone's a slave to something in life. You understand? So, for example, you have to be a slave in life. You have to be a slave to people, because that way you have to give. You have to give something. And the universe, when the universe is rushing you to work a 9-to-5 job, and that's when you have to understand that the universe is doing something even better for you in that time. Do you understand? So if the universe says now you must work a 9-to-5 job, then that's the best time for you to work a 9-to-5 job, so the universe can profit from your behavior. Do you understand? So you have to understand that the universe is always working for you as a whole. You understand? So the thing is that as a whole, the people have nothing against you as a whole. You understand? But the thing is, always find yourself in better places. Always seek to have more information. Do you understand? And when you have more information, you succeed differently. But the thing is that I can inspire people through words. I mean, you have to understand, through words, everything comes through words. And because I'm doing things on my own accord, I'm making sure that I'm growing in my own way, I'm delivering content in my own way, And that way I become unique into the world. Every single day I'm doing something to broadcast my behavior into the world, because that way you succeed. I mean, all I've really given you in my life is my attitude toward life. Do you understand? So many people don't have a YouTube channel. I promise you, many people don't use their social media in life, and they're losing. You have to understand they're losing because they don't have much going for them. You have to understand that it's much more, they may have a 9 to 5 job, they may have money and stuff like that. But how much money is enough money? Do you understand? Or should I say $70,000 a year is enough money to live life? Do you understand? $70,000. And anything over that doesn't really help you as much. Do you understand? But the thing is that eventually you have to work that 9 to 5 job, and you have to understand that if I was 16 years of age, I mean, what would I say now? I mean, what would I do at 16 years of age? I mean, first of all, I would drop out of high school. At 16 years of age, and I would go read books as much as possible. I would go get myself as much information as possible every single day, and hang around with myself the most, and just let it be like that. Yes, and that's what I'll do. And for example, if they rush me into the 9 to 5 job, then I'll go work the 9 to 5 job and just help myself this way to do better. That's what I'll do, and I get away from the crowd as much as possible. And say I don't want to be around the crowd at all, because they all want to be important. You understand? They all want to be more than you. You understand? But the thing is that it doesn't work that way. You understand? It doesn't work that way. What works is when you help others to give more to them in terms of words, and then you succeed this way because you're helping people, and because you're helping people, you just learn, and that's how it is. So if you've learned anything from this audio program, please give me a thumbs up, and understand that you guys have to grow. You have to always help yourself to see life on a different basis all the time. And anyway, guys, just make sure you learn something and grow. I say, guys, to succeed, you have to do something in life. So when you do something in life, you just talk. You talk words. You make sure that you pronunciate your words in a better way. Something that works, making sure that you're giving ideas. And the more you give out, ideas, the more you can actually grow. You understand? Because through ideas comes through knowledge. You understand? Through knowledge comes wisdom. So you just talk about your experience all day long. That's what you do. And in life, you make sure that you're never straining yourself. Do you understand? Make sure that you're doing something appropriate for yourself, where you're either growing or doing something in regards to helping yourself to succeed is what you need to be doing. So every single day now, I'm understanding that life is passing me by in a different manner all the time, and I'm growing myself the best way I can. So that's the important thing, guys, that I'm helping myself to grow. You understand? Because if I'm not helping myself to grow, then I'm not doing anything. Do you understand? So every single day, do something that works for you. Do you understand? You have to always help yourself to talk words. Do you understand? Because when you talk words, you live life on a better basis. You're doing something to succeed, and that's the important thing. So when you actually talk, and when you walk the talk, when you walk your own talk, you're going to be living life. You understand? Because that's what life is about. Life is about challenging yourself, becoming the best version of yourself every single day. Doing something successful for yourself that's going to help you grow. So I do realize something about my voice, that my voice has changed. And my voice is much more deeper than ever before, because I've been speaking so much. And because I speak so much, I help people like that. In terms of life, I help people. But at the moment, I feel like doing nothing except talking words at the moment. You understand? Because that's my passion. Or else my passion is talking more words. Because you never know who you can inspire. Do you understand? You can inspire the world this way. You can make sure every single day that you're behaving in a way that's helping you grow, and doing the best you can like that every single day. Speaking those words out, making sure that you're coming into contradiction with your words. Understanding that life is one way every single day, that you always go toward growth for answers, that you're making sure that you're growing every single day, making sure doing things that help you grow, like reading books, for example, or reading something, or reading some kind of material, or listening to music is nice and beautiful as well, and making sure that you're pronouncing those words much better. I think that's what you need to be doing. So every single day you have to be giving words of advice all the time. You have to always look in within yourself every single day to pronounce those words in a better way. You have to understand always that the answer is inside of you right now, and you have that answer inside of you. So when you are dealing with life on a daily basis, you're just looking to grow. You're just looking to make sure that you can do something that's successful for yourself. Do you understand? Because that's how you grow. You grow through abbreviation. You grow through making sure that you can help yourself to do something successful. Do you understand? Because how else can you become successful but speak words for yourself? You understand? But when you speak words for yourself, you always do better. You understand? Because your words will inspire someone to grow. You understand? And that's the important thing, that you're always making sure that you're engaging yourself in a way of vitality, and that you're growing yourself with the outcome in life, that you're helping yourself and other people grow every single day, making sure that you're delivering content, because that way you grow. In a sense, so you're always pronouncing those words much better and doing the best job you can. That's what you need to do all the time. You understand? Because there's nothing much more fashionable than that, where you can spread words of advice out there every single day, do something around the scenes of whatever you want to do. For example, if you want to make a joke, you make sure you practice on that. You practice on making jokes, for example. So every single day you have to understand that there's always a way forward, and there's always a way to help yourself to succeed. But that's how you grow, guys. You grow through the ability to change. You understand? And when you adapt to the circumstances every single day, you're going to be traveling. You're going to be doing something. You need to be traveling all the time. You need to be doing something that's regarding your work ethic, that's helping you have that work ethic in your life, where you can actually succumb to a greater power. Do you understand? Where you can have energy again, where you can actually do and talk and be everything that you want to be and do. You understand? So it's much more about all the time talking about your feelings, telling yourself the story that you are going to grow, for example, and making sure that you're always abbreviating, which means to be talking words. Do you understand? And that way you talk with yourself all day long. And when you talk with yourself all day long, you can help to inspire other people like that. You understand? Because that's what inspirational people do. Like, for example, Les Brown. Les Brown talks a lot about greatness, that you have greatness inside of you, and that you have something special. I mean, he understands how to inspire through words, you understand? And that's what you guys need to be doing. You have to be always understanding that no matter what, in terms of life, that everyone looks different, but everyone can speak those words. And those words are the most attractive thing on the planet. I promise you, that's the only thing I can give a woman, is my words. You understand? That's an attractive factor for me, for example. So if there's anything I can give to a woman, I can give her words. You understand? And I can give her my attitude, you understand, toward words. And anyone can give you those words. I mean, you can just find those words in anyone that you want. You understand? But the thing is that you'll never find those words that you really want from other people in those other people. You understand? What you have to understand is those words come from you. And you can only ever give yourself those words. So you can only ever give yourself that love that you're looking for. You understand? So nobody's going to love you as much as you love yourself, for example. You understand? So, for example, you have to understand that you are the one you're looking for. You are your soulmate. You are your soulmate. You are your twin flame. You understand? You are one half of the soul, and there's another part of you out there somewhere, always looking for you and always wanting to be with you. But sometimes it's not the best time to be with you right now, because you might not be ready for it. Now, do you understand? So you must understand that the thing is that some people go through life fall single, and they're always single, and they don't want to have kids, and that's their decision. And you have to understand that my decision is that if I ever had the opportunity to have kids in this lifetime, I would have kids. But before, I was not ready. I could have had kids with some women over here, but the thing is that I wasn't ready to be with them. I wasn't ready to do anything but have sex with them, for example. You understand? I was treating them like shit. You understand? I had a shit attitude toward life. You understand? So the thing is, I was very stupid, and now I'm filling in the gaps. You understand? And how am I doing that? I'm doing that through words, and I'm doing that through music. You understand? So the more I produce content, the better I am. You understand? That's what I need to be doing all the time. And you have to interest yourself through words. You have to be an interesting person to be around. You understand? So you have to understand that life is about going for a walk. You understand? Go for a walk in new places. Go do stuff out there. Go somewhere you've never been. Go walk a city, for example. Just go and explore things for yourself. But you have to understand that if you're not keen to do that, then travel through images, travel through imagination, travel through words, travel through music production, travel through making music, for example. Do something that helps you to travel every single day, that helps you bring a new attitude toward yourself every single day. You have to understand that when I speak from the heart. You understand? And I no longer tense my mind anymore to speak. For example, before I was so tense when I was speaking because I didn't know the information I was talking about. And I still don't. But these days I'm much more able to do my work. I'm much more able to help to express myself these days. But before I was rock bottom. You have to understand that I before was much worse than this person I am today. You understand? I was much more worse. And the thing is that I'm doing better right now than ever in terms of wisdom. I have the most wisdom I've ever had in my life. You understand? And that's the thing about me. I'm doing better than ever in wisdom. But in terms of physical body, I'm not doing too good in terms of my physical body. And you have to understand that as age goes on, apparently what happens is your body gets older and older. You understand? And the thing is that eventually you run out of energy. I mean, do you understand? So eventually you get much more tired, and when you get much more tired throughout life, it's because you're passing away. You understand? You're passing away from this lifetime. And the moment your energy goes away, that's when disease comes in. That's when, for example, cancer may come in, or heart attack, or something like that, because you have no energy. You understand? So when you boost your energy levels, you're going to have much more health. You understand? So every single day you have to be watching out for your energy levels. You have to be making sure that you're eating the best foods out there, that you're eating vegan food. Do you understand? That's giving you energy, for example. So eat something that gives you energy. You understand? Like soy milk or tofu or beans or lentils or wheat bix or any kind of cereals out there with soy milk, for example. Probably nuts and beans, probably seeds give you energy. You understand? So eat those kind of foods. Eat vegetables like onion, tomato. Eat, for example, fruits and vegetables. You understand? Probably fruits and vegetables are the best. I'm probably every single day you have to eat those kind of foods. You understand? So that's what helps you to succeed in life. So eat much more, less processed food. Like don't eat meat pie. Don't eat sausage rolls. I mean, don't eat processed food. Don't eat McDonald's or pizza or anything like that that's processed. You understand? So for example, stay away from most of the processed food out there. Don't eat lasagna that's frozen, for example. You understand? Don't eat any frozen food in your life. Don't eat any frozen pizza. You understand? Stay away from all that because it's got preservatives. I mean, it's got preservatives inside. Stay away from preservatives. You understand? So, for example, I have to get myself back on track. And the thing is that I've been eating too much meat pie. I've been eating too much sausage rolls. I've been eating also Oporos and KFC and chicken and all that stuff. So I have to understand to get back on track, for example. But there's always a way, you understand? And you have to fulfill your gaps. You have to fulfill the mind stream with words. You have to understand to abbreviate much more and to learn to do that for yourself. You have to talk words, you understand? You have to talk words of advice, and you have to go on a journey somewhere. You understand? You have to take yourself on a journey somewhere. You have to talk as much as possible every single day, doing as much work as you can for yourself to grow, because that's how you grow, guys. So all I've been doing is uploading content recently, and that's it. Apparently it's much more how there's a lot of uploading to do. For example, I'm understanding that my videos are going to go up really fast, and they're going up much faster than my quotes, for example. Because with my quotes, I have to sit down, I have to write everything down, I have to transcribe it, for example. I have to get the message across to you in the better way. You understand? But it's worth it. I promise you it's worth to change people's lives and nothing else. You understand? And I do it for free. I do my quotes for free. I do my information for free, and I give it out for free because there's no other way, guys. You have to understand that for me, for my information, I promise you, it's much more how I can show people the way through information. But it's up to you to do it. I promise you, I've given you everything in terms of my information. I've given you everything, every single part of me is exposed about me. It's all online. I'm not hiding anything about myself. I promise you, people can see exactly who I am through my Mega Drive, and people can see exactly what I'm doing and stuff like that. And you have to understand, I screenshot everything in terms of all my conversations I have with people. I screenshot it. I make sure to upload it. I make sure to have that nice and beautiful tone where I can expose myself as much as possible. You understand? Every single day, so that people can see who I am. You understand? And so that people can learn from me. You understand? Nothing else. That's what I do all the time. For example, I make sure to show people different times and stuff like that. But the thing is that in 100 years time, or 200 years time, or 300 years time, I promise you, all I have left to give is all the information I provided on YouTube and Instagram, and nothing else. You have to understand that Snapchat is going away from me. I promise you, everything's going away from me, and the only thing that I've given in the world is information. You understand? Because all the receiving of the information that I've done is because of the books I've read and the stuff I've got myself into in terms of information, and learning all that information helped me as a person to grow. I promise you, helped me to become much more wiser. It helped me to help my attitude to grow. For example, I'm no longer a bastard. I'm no longer a son of a bitch. I'm no longer a stupid idiot. You understand? I'm someone much more smarter than ever before. For example, I'm much more like a person who is much better. You understand? I'm doing much better, for example. And you have to understand, it's much more how I was. You see, guys, people judge me. You have to understand that when you see a business card, for example, you have to understand that that business card is a source of information. And now, it depends how good your information is and how much you can produce in terms of words. So I had a guy recently. He came into my life through Instagram, and he said, "Hey, brother," and I was going to reply to him because he's so nice. But then he said, "Don't ever fucking give your business card to my mailbox ever again." You understand? He told me like in a rude manner. And he fully rejected my business card. You have to understand, I don't know if he's going to go and see what I have to say and stuff like that. But the thing is that it's much more how he blocked himself from my information, because he doesn't like it. I mean, he doesn't like stuff like my business cards in his mailbox, for example. So make sure that you never like this person. Make sure that when you see a business card or something like that in your mailbox, that you go and check it out thoroughly and see if that information can help you. Because my information helps people. And the thing is that you have to understand that I go from all ways. And when I talk about music, I talk about life, I talk about everything. And that's why I'm successful. Because I like to talk about it. I like to talk about life. You understand? That's why I'm succeeding. But my mum and dad don't understand how successful I am. You understand? Because they judge me upon my habits. Now, do I judge myself upon my habits? I promise you, no. I don't judge the way I am. You understand? I am the way I am, and that's it. You understand? But the thing is that judging? I promise you, guess what? I promise you, no. I promise you, everything is judging. You have to understand, everything is judging you at the moment. I promise you, God's judging you. I promise you, Jesus Christ is judging you. I promise you, everything's judgmental in life. But the thing is that nothing is judgmental in life as well. I promise you, it's just the way it is. You understand? So you have to always help yourself to understand that your voice is important. And if you have a voice, you have to give it. You have to give more of it. And you have to go out there coaching people every single day to do better. You understand? So that's the whole point of life, to always do better. You understand? So, for example, you have to understand that there's always a way and there's always a will. You understand? There's always a will to succeed that you have to always understand. So when you're talking, you talk through feelings. You talk your feelings out. You say things on your mind. I mean, whatever's on your mind, you speak about it. So, for example, if I was going to speak about some type of story, I'll give you my story, for example. Or I can give you some fake story, for example. So there was a guy and there was a girl. I promise you, this girl fell in love with another man. She cheated on him, and you have to understand that this man found a better wife and went on and had a great life, for example. I mean, that's a fairy tale. But that's happened before in life as well. I mean, fairy tales are also true. In a sense, so what you can muster up for yourself in life, you can always understand that there's always a way to speak your words out and to speak something out, for example. So you have to understand that you have to always exaggerate sometimes. And you have to exaggerate your success, and you have to understand every single day has to be something that you can live upon, where you want people to see you for how you are, and so that you're not hiding who you are. Yes, and never be hiding who you are. Every single day, try to always manifest your dreams. I mean, try to manifest the person you are today in a better way. Yes, and try to help yourself to imagine things. I mean, imaginate every single day how it's going to be and how it's going to feel like to be successful. You understand? So when you understand how to understand something about life, you have to understand that you're just one soul in this world. Or you're just one unique individual that's unique to your own ability. You understand? So everyone's unique. Everyone has time, and you have to understand to use your time wisely. And now, being single right now for me is the best decision. And why is that? Because that's just the way it is. Or there's no woman in my life to love me at the moment, and I'm happy with that. Yes, and I'm happy because you have to understand that regardless of the things that I've done in my life, I had opportunities and I missed upon them. I missed out upon them. I missed out upon those opportunities with women. I could have had several girlfriends, for example, and I was on the drugs. You understand? I was a drug addict. You understand? So the thing is that today, if I went back and I really, really had those chances again with those women, I would make sure I go the long distance with those women. Do you understand? But the thing is that I wasn't like that. You understand? I was stupid. Do you understand? I was just in it for the fuck, and that's it. And that's a mistake I made. You understand? But my next opportunity in terms of life, where a woman comes into my life, if she comes or not, you understand? So if she comes and if she doesn't, apparently it depends. But the thing is, it's much more how, let's say she comes, then I'm going to be making sure that I go the distance with that woman. You know, I'm going to make sure that it's not about the sex with her. It's more about talking and communicating with her, and that's that. Yes, and just communicating with people every single day is a nice thing. But the thing is that if you feel socially isolated like I do, then you have to put that time into productivity. You have to understand that your time goes in many places, and you have to understand that every single day you're bombarded with advertisements, and you have to be careful where you're giving your time. You understand? Because if you're not using time strategies and things in life where you're always doing better in terms of your time management, then you're going to do worse off than good. You understand? So make sure you understand that plenty of people don't have time these days because they're not managing their time, or because of the 9 to 5 work. You understand? But as soon as that 9 to 5 work comes in, you have to understand that 40 hours a week is a lot of time. You understand? It's a lot of time to be working at the 9 to 5 job. And you have 168 hours in a week. So you still have 128 hours to do as you please. You understand? And let's just say that you sleep, for example, 48 hours from that. You still have around, let's just say, 90 hours, or let's just say you have 80 hours of free time left. And now maybe 10 hours goes into family, 10 hours of reading, for example, and then the rest you can do your passions. You know, you can stay at home, or you can go out somewhere, you can go and do whatever you want to do. But that's how it is in life. You have to understand, you go places, you go new places that you've never been. You understand? So, for example, you have to understand, I wish that my mum and dad always cherished me in a way that I want them to. You understand? Like, for example, I want them to treat me better in terms of words and stuff like that. But the thing is that they lack ability. They lack so much ability in terms of being able to lift me in terms of habits. You understand? So their habits are something that drag me down. You understand? So the thing is that it's much more how you are subject to how your habits are. Do you understand? So if your habits are doing bad in life, then you're going to produce that kind of content in the world as well. You understand? So it's much more how you have to understand that your habits is your destiny, and what your habits are today is who you are. You understand? So you have to watch out. You have to be careful upon who you surround yourself with, because if you surround yourself with drug addicts, you're going to become a drug addict. You understand? And that's how it is. And I surrounded myself around my dad because I love him so much that I'm now a smoker of a cigarette. You understand? Because I surround myself around him. You understand? But the thing is that he's not going to be here forever. And there's going to come a day where he's going to die, and he's no longer going to smoke in my life. He's no longer going to put toxins into the air that I breathe. Do you understand? And he's going to give me much more silence. He's going to give me much more peace and quiet. But he's also going to take away some freedom from me. You understand? So I'm going to be able to understand that it's much more how once he passes away, I'll have less freedom in my life, but I also won't be surrounded around smoke anymore. So what's much better for me in that case? I promise you, it's much better to have no cigarettes in your life at all, and to be working and having a 9-to-5 job that you like to do, so that you can help yourself prosper. That's what you guys need to be doing. You need to be prospering every single day of your life. You need to be doing something magnificent with yourself so that you can grow. You have to always strategize with yourself and other people to make sure that you're learning, growing, giving ideas, loving your life every single day. You have to understand, I produce audiobooks, you understand? And because I produce a lot of content, I produce it through videos and writing materials, you understand? I produce it through audio programs as well, you understand? So that's how it is. And you have to understand, I don't need audible.com, for example, to produce my content on, you understand? And I already have a book with them, for example, that is Ultimate Road to Success, and you can find that in my YouTube channel as my audiobook. But look at all my life coaching podcasts in my playlist in my YouTube account, and look at all my how-to series as well, and my busking performances, you understand? And now my podcast, in terms of my life coaching podcasts, teach you something about life. It will teach you something. You understand? That's the thing. That every single one of my programs that I've talked on teaches you something about me, teaches you something about life, teaches you what is. You understand? So I'm not perfect, but in a way, my words are perfect. My words that you can understand is perfect. You understand? And now how it's presented may not be perfect. You understand? But in a way, it's perfect as well. In a sense, so the thing is, you have to understand that when you go through life, you go through life challenging yourself to become better than yesterday. You understand? Because that's the whole point, and that's the whole idea of life, that you challenge yourself in a way that you're growing. You understand? You have to be growing. You have to be spiritual. You have to be loving your life. You have to talk it out with yourself so that you can find a strategy for yourself to grow. Yes, and that's the whole point of doing whatever you want to do in life, where you can help yourself to understand and where you can help yourself to prosper and be abundant. Yes, and be positive and enthusiastic and charismatic. Yes, and so if you have less energy in life, it's because either you're on medications, or you're sleeping too much, or you're not drinking enough water, for example, or you're eating too much food. And that's why less energy happens. So less energy happens, or more. So less energy happens, or more fatigue happens because of either you ate more food, or you slept too much, or you didn't drink enough water, or you're on medication. You understand me? So let me repeat that. So if you have less energy, okay, or if you feel more fatigued, then it's because you ate too much, you didn't drink enough water, you're on medications, or you slept too much. So more fatigue happens because you slept too much. More fatigue happens because you ate too much. More fatigue happens because you didn't drink water enough. And more fatigue happens because you're on medications. You understand? So if you have less energy, it's the same thing. You understand? So if you have less energy, that's because you're on medications. If you have less energy, it's because you didn't drink enough water. If you have less energy, it's because you overate something, you overate, or you ate too much. And if you have less energy, then it's because you slept too much. You understand? So to get yourself back in rhythm, make sure you sleep enough. You understand? Sleep enough. have enough water to drink, make sure you get off the medication, and also make sure that you are someone who doesn't overeat or just eat small bits of food at a time. You understand? Make sure you eat something, but make sure you eat small portions of food only. You understand? And that way you'll have much more energy. You understand? And I understand how to get more energy. You understand? The thing is that it's just the point of doing it now. You understand? It's about having a routine, and make sure that when you fall asleep from now on, make sure you set up a timer and you wake up when it's enough. So, for example, make sure you understand that when I go to bed now, from now on, I'm going to make sure that I set up a timer to sleep 8 hours and see how I feel from that point. So 8 hours, I promise you, 8 hours of sleep a day is a benchmark. And see how you feel once you wake up. Yes, and ask yourself the question, is it enough sleep? I promise you, most of the time it's going to be enough sleep. You understand? So make sure you understand it's much more how it is, that people work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, and travel 8 hours. You understand? And that's how you understand life. That's what my grandpa said. He said, work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, and travel or walk 8 hours. Be active. You understand? Be an active person every single day of your life. Do something that's activity in terms of life. Do an activity that helps you to grow in some way, shape or form. Make sure that you're always doing the best job you can and love your life. You understand? That's what you guys need to be doing. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for this audio program for now. I realize my feelings are telling me let's do something different for a change. And anyway, guys, just hope all the time and make sure that you're always hoping to do better and make sure that you do what's better for you. See, guys, so what's helpful to quit smoking and drugs in the morning when you wake up, for example, and you need a coffee and you need a cigarette to live life? Instead of going for coffee and cigarettes right in the morning when you wake up, try to meditate. Try to just be with your thoughts. Try to close your eyes and just be here in the moment. So that's all you need to do, for example, to succeed. You need to understand to never worry. See, anyway, guys, that's the way it is. So just make sure you focus on yourself to succeed and live your life according to doing something much better for yourself every single day, so that you can live and learn and love for yourself in different ways, helping yourself to grow. Becoming the best version of yourself is what you need to do every single day. So just focus on yourself, and that's how you succeed. So it's different for everything, and it's different for everybody. So you have to learn, you have to grow. You have to speak in times of things in life where you're going and you're speaking and you're just living life to the best degree that you can. So for me right now, I'm understanding that I put on some weight, for example, but it's not, let's say, effective for me to do so. The thing is that for me, it's just about growing now. It's about lifting myself every single day and living my talk every single day. That's what I need to be doing more often. But it's tough when other people don't believe in you. But it's not even tough when other people believe in you or not. But the thing is that, do I wish people to believe in me? I promise you, yeah. I wish that people believe in me more than myself, but that's not the case. You have to understand that people are only going to believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. I promise you, as much as you love yourself, I promise you, that's how much people will love you also. So you have to stay away from drug addicts. You have to stay away from people, for example, so you can learn to love and live a life that's worth living, for example. You have to orchestrate your life in a better dimension all the time, so that you're growing and so that you're living to the best potential that you can every single day. You have to be learning something. You have to be doing something to succeed, because otherwise you're going to be failing. Do you understand? And it's not a bad thing to fail, but the thing is that you can always do better. You can always live better. You can always dream better. And there's always a way forward. Do you understand? So you always have to capitulate your life in a way of growth. You have to be growing. You have to be doing something smart for yourself, lifting yourself and other people, making sure that you're doing the most work in the world. And that's what matters. See, guys, you have to do what matters in life. So when you're performing the best you can, you just live. You live and breathe this moment. You take the time to be meditative with yourself and other people. In a sense, to stay away from cigarettes, stay away from people who smoke cigarettes, so that you don't become a smoker yourself. And the only reason I started smoking cigarettes is because of my dad, and because he smoked cigarettes around me. Actually, that's the only reason why I smoked cigarettes to begin with for 7 years. I started at 16, and then I quit for about 2 years. 3 years I quit cigarettes in between. So I started at 16, and let's say I'm 30 now, so that's 14 years. So in between, I quit already 3 years in between, for example. So you have to understand that I've been smoking cigarettes for about 11 years. I'm not sure. I've even lost count for how much I've smoked cigarettes, to be honest. But the thing is that cigarettes never brought me any happiness. Cigarettes never brought me anything in life. You understand? They only ever took my money away from me. You understand? So the whole point of doing what you feel like in life is to help yourself grow in the moment and to be functional. You have to be functional with yourself. You have to understand that words matter and what you say matters. You understand? So you have to have a voice. You have to have a voice. You have to speak out every single day. And you have to understand to be bored with yourself sometimes, but make sure that you overcome boredom as much as possible. You understand? It's alright to be bored sometimes. You understand? The thing is that when you're bored, meditate, breathe, close your eyes, just be in the moment. Feel what you're feeling. I promise you, your body's never bored. I promise you, your body that you live in is never bored. So take care of your body. Take care of who you are. You understand? Otherwise, you're going to be losing. You have to take care of yourself, guys. See, guys, so what's been happening in my life? You have to understand, I just recently went to get my teeth cleaned, and I feel better about my teeth now, but I feel so, let's say, overboard. I feel tired right now. I have fatigue because of the medication that they put me on. And I feel like, for example, low motivation to do anything. For example, it's just that I have energy, but it's just low top of energy, where my mind, in terms of my brain, is just so tired that I don't feel like doing much, to be honest. And that's because of the medication that they put me on. So anyway, I realized if you guys want to do better, you have to always exist in the moment. You have to be in the moment as much as possible. And you have to do your life. You have to succeed in different ways. You have to be able to grow the most you can. And let it be like that, you understand? So you have to understand it's much more how it is. So anyway, guys, so I just came to Germany over here. I'm with my mum. And it's been a 5-year reunion where I haven't seen my mum for 5 years, and finally I get to see her today. And I'm with her over here. But the thing is that you have to see how she gets food and drink for herself. I mean, she really doesn't know what she's doing around food and drink. And she is looking worse than yesterday. She's not looking at her best, to be honest. And also, I'm not looking at my best as well, to be honest. But the thing is that since I came here, it's been full on. I've been just going around places, been going shopping, been going for clothes, been going for food and drinks, been driving around places, been going with my mum to the shops and stuff like that on the first day that I came to Germany. And it's been pretty full on. My mum not wasted, but she invested 1,000 euros in me today, to be honest. And she invested at least 1,000, she spent at least $1,000 in terms of Australian dollars on me today. And it's just the first day that I'm here. But that's what she wants from her heart. I mean, that's what she gave me. And I feel that she's trying to give me everything that she wants me to have. She wants me to have food and drink. She wants me to do better in terms of life. But at the same time, she's dragging herself down and she's trying to drag me down at the same time. But it's because she doesn't know around the food and drink stuff about what to do and why to do it and what to do in terms of how to do it. I mean, she doesn't understand how to eat, for example. So she buys me food that is no good for me. And she talks about how many meals she wants to give me. She prepares 10 types of foods. For example, she wants to make me mozzarella cheese, bread. I mean, bread's not good for you. You have to understand that bread is a lot of carbohydrates in it. And I don't eat bread, to be honest. But it's much more how she's full of carbs. I mean, she eats a lot of carbs. You have to understand yogurt, for example, has a lot of carbs. I mean, a lot of food out there has a lot of carbs in it. So if I'm going to lose weight, it's going to be because I chose to discipline myself to stay away from foods. But for now, I realize that it's just the way it is. I have to grow from what I do now. And it's much more how I have the ability to succeed for myself, to really lift myself in the moment and to be the best version that I can be. But I've been smoking with my mum now today. I was smoking some cigarettes. I smoked at least one packet today, easily. And it's much more how it's going to get worse. I understand that. And the thing is that my mum is already picking up my material and the way I am. She's already telling me to sleep today, to go and do something around myself, to give myself some quiet time for myself, to help myself to succeed. But I'm trying to do better for my sake, at least, because what's important for me is not always important for everybody else. But the thing is that I'm trying to do the best I can for myself to grow. And that's all I can do for myself, is just grow the best way I can. So every single day now, I'm understanding that life is going to be different for me for the next 2 months. And my mum wants me to do plenty of things with her. Like, for example, she wants me to have a haircut. She wants me to have she wants me to be clean shaved. And she wants me to learn from this guy, in terms of a boyfriend, how to maneuver my beard, in terms of how to cut my beard, for example. And it's much more how the day has gone really quick. I mean, I came here at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. I went through check-ins. I went through that travel time. I went through a lot of travel time in my life over here, from Australia to Sydney, from Sydney to Germany, for example. I had to stop over at Singapore, and then from Singapore I went to Germany, Frankfurt, and all up it was like 24 hours of flight and stuff like that. And I just went through that. I didn't even sleep most of the time. And am I tired right now? I promise you no, I'm not tired. I can still go. I can still lift myself, but the thing is that it's just the way it is. And life is different for me now. I realized I forgot my mum's Apple Watch, for example. I forgot to give her my Apple Watch. I forgot it in Sydney, Australia. I was meant to bring it on the plane with me, and I forgot to bring it, to give it to my mum. But this Samsung watch is much better than the Apple Watch, and I can see that for myself. But it's more how I have to grow from the outcomes. I have to grow from everything I do. For example, to live my life to the best degree that I can every single day, lifting myself up, doing the best I can, for example. I realize that's what I need to do. and it's just much more, I'm ready for quiet time. I'm ready to be quiet and just doze off, for example. I mean, do I feel like dozing off right now? I promise you no. I don't feel like dozing off, but at the same time, I feel like just talking. And there's a lot to talk about. I realize my mum doesn't really understand the chaos in terms of how much chaos she goes through in terms of life. I mean, she's trying to give me all that she can in terms of money that she has. And you have to understand that I appreciate her and I appreciate what she's trying to do for me. But the thing is that it's much more how I did things for her as well. I mean, you understand, I did things for her. She does things for me. And there's plenty of time here left for me to be with my mum and Toma, for example, and to go around doing things in my own accord and stuff like that. The thing is that I understand that it's much more how I have to grow from what I have. I have to do better regardless of the situation. The thing is that now, since I have more time on my hands to really grow myself every single day, I realize I have to charge my content. I have to charge my phone over here. Otherwise, my phone's going to die. So I have to do my life coaching. I have to do my life coaching. I have to practice to become my best version. And I have to do things on my own accord over here. But that's how it is. I feel all over the place today. I feel like I've been doing too much for myself over here. And it's not that I've been doing too much for myself. It's just that my mum's taken me on the road today. I mean, she's really drove me much more. I mean, she drove me much more into the spotlight today. She really gave me something to look forward to today in terms of my mum. And she's trying to do her best for me. I can see that. She means good for me. She wants to make me rump steak. She wants to make me mozzarella cheese with toast bread, and she wants to make me salad. She has soy milk ready for me. She has all the Coke and drinks that you want in a household, for example. She has all the food, all the meat that you ever want for sandwiches or anything that you want in terms of steak or anything. She's already has it. She has all this food. You understand? And she packs on a lot of food for herself. But the thing is that that's not the way to live life. The thing is that she doesn't understand that in life you have to shop day by day. You cannot shop for weeks to come. You only shop ever day by day, because if you go shopping and you buy $50,000 worth of food for one day, you understand, I promise you're not going to eat it all in one day. You understand? And you may die today, you may die tomorrow. You never know when you're going to die. So why waste all that money in the first place for extra food that you're not going to eat, for example? You understand? I mean, never shop up front. Never shop for the week. Never shop for 2 weeks at a time. You understand? Shop day by day. You understand? That's what my mum doesn't understand. And I don't feel sorry for my mum. I want to lift her up. But she's not willing to listen to me. Do you understand? She's not that type of woman to, let's say, be inspired by me in a way that, for example, that lifts her up in a way that she thinks that it's appropriate. You understand? The thing is that when I start speaking to her in a motivational tone, she will just start maybe, like, for example, noticing something, but she'll tell me to just mind my own business and stuff like that. She's not too much into me in terms of my life coaching. She doesn't believe that I have life coaching abilities. You understand? So what I do now is just I grow. I try to persuade myself to do better for myself, to do something, to succeed for myself, to live life on my own. But the thing is that things are opening up for me now. And what's opening up for me now especially is a different tone. something different's opening up in my life. It's much more of like a holiday. I have much more of a holiday right now. I'm away from Australia, for example. I'm into new surroundings. I'm traveling much more now. You understand? For the next 2.5 months, I'm going to be on the road, traveling, learning. It's going to be life-changing. You understand? But the thing is that this too shall pass. And now, do I want to be in this position? I promise you, yes. I do want to be in this position. But things are different for me now. And it's due to having my mum around. And because my mum is around now, she's much more proud of me that I came to see her. You understand? She's much more happy. She's much more happy that I'm here. So it's much more how she lets me be alone and have my alone time now. But she can walk into my room at any moment to see how I am or to see what I'm doing, for example. And I have to keep life coaching. As time goes on, things are going quick. I mean, my mum will pass away one day. And I have to make the best of it. I have to make the best of whatever's coming in my life. I have to make strong changes in my life to succeed. I have to do something today to succeed. Really, really succeed. Because do I crave cigarettes right now? I'm not craving cigarettes right now. Do you understand? I can go without cigarettes. And it's much more how I'm learning. I have different styles of communication. I have different ways of saying something. I have new words of wisdom to say every day and to do things differently every single day now. I need to be doing my work. But my work is my mother as well. You understand? It's more about being around my mother now. Do you understand? As much as possible. And I see my mum when she walks around and stuff like that. I've realized she is fit. I mean, she's fit to walk around. But she doesn't look healthy. You understand? Whereas my mum doesn't look healthy right now. And she looks worse than ever right now. I mean, she has a belly. I mean, you have to understand her bum doesn't look like something that's really, really, let's say, in a way that is sexy. You understand? I mean, my mum doesn't look sexy in a way that is a nice way to say, in a way that she doesn't look sexy in a way that she can be the best version of herself. But my mum is sexy in a way to the degree that she gives. Do you understand? And like everyone has sexiness in them. But the thing is that you have to look at my mum in this kind of way. And I'll show you the way that you look at my mum. You look at her in the way of words. Do you understand? Because she's the words that she speaks. But I'm the words that I speak. I'm not how I look. Do you understand? I'm not the person I look today. You understand? I am something more than that. My most attractive feature is the words that I speak. Is the most attractive feature about me. You understand? So, being able to express myself in an audio program is something remarkable. And something that all people must do for themselves to grow themselves and to have whatever they want in life. But my mum wants to go all out for me. And she's giving me too much. She's giving me too much. And do I deserve it? I promise you, yes, I deserve it. I deserve everything that she gives me. But it's more how I have to do better. I have to do better. I realize there's a better time coming. And right now I'm on holidays, but I'm still working throughout holidays. I'm still doing my passions. You understand? I'm still trying to do better.
But things are opening up for me in different ways now, and I'm just learning how to grow with myself. You understand? Because that's how I feel, that's how I am. I do things differently now. So things are opening up for me now in different ways. I'm with my mother now. I have a new story. I have new stories to say. I have new stories to tell. I have to grow from what I have in life. I have to seek wisdom regardless of the situation. And I just do myself a favor every single day. Do you understand? Because that's what I need to do. I need to be able to grow myself the best way I can. That's what I can do for myself and other people. So now I realize now I have to upload all my content online. And I have to do my work. And now, is it good for me to do my quotes now? Apparently, the thing is no. Apparently, everything's good. But shall I do my quotes now? Apparently, the thing is that I can do my quotes. I can do my quotes now. And I have to connect my laptop and my phone to the internet over here. So I have internet. And the thing is that I have to also be away from everybody. I have to get away from everybody. And why is that? Because I learned something from it. I'm the best when I am alone. When I'm alone, I'm the best. Nothing affects me when I'm alone. But who you surround yourself with is who you become. You have to understand that. That's how it is. You have to grow yourself in a different way. All the time, you have to show yourself the best attitude in the planet. You have to do the best job in the planet that you can. Every single day, speaking much more wisdom, doing much more life work, doing something that's recognizing a greater factor about you. You understand? You have to be doing your work. And now, what's the differences between my mum and dad? See, my mum tries to give me everything. See, my dad tries to give me everything. I see it's much more how I have much more alone time with my dad than I do with my mum at the moment. And it's just the way it is. I mean, do you understand? I mean, they're going to pass away eventually, and I'm going to be able to live my life according to how I want to live it finally. You understand? And that's going to be a different part of me. And it's going to be something different for me. So it's much more how my mum gets into a mess. She makes a mess everywhere. And then she cleans it up. She cleans up her own mess. And she has to organize everything to what must be done and where things must go and what must be done to help her succeed in a way that she's prospering and growing. And I'm not blind, but the thing is that things happen for a reason. And now, do I want to go sleep? Probably no. Probably not yet. I don't feel like sleeping just yet. But I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. I'm going to sleep like a baby. And why is that? Because I didn't sleep on the plane much. I didn't sleep on the plane. I still have jet lag. I have this jet lag about me today. Like I just came today to Frankfurt, Germany. And already my mum spent $1,000 on me. Do you understand? I mean, my mum tries to give me the most that she can. She tries to do the best job for me. Yes, and she tries to help me to succeed. I'm going to have different experiences now. It's going to be different for me now with my mum. And something is developing between me and my mum here. I realize it's just, I haven't seen my mum in 5 years. And finally, when I get to see her like this, I see she is much more wiser than she's ever been, but she's also losing physically. She's losing physically, but her spirituality is not losing. I can see that. She's not losing in her spiritual ways. You know what I'm saying? She has faith. Whereas my mother has faith in herself. And that's how you can recognize my faith inside of who I am. For example, is my most attractive factor. I can show you who I am. You understand? I can show you who I am through the words I speak. And that's who I am really. Even if I don't do what I speak, I can tell you who I am. Even if I am a hypocrite about what I say. You understand? But the thing is that you can never be a hypocrite about what you say. It's more how you do. But what you do has an outcome, and what you feel is something that's different and something that you need to do all the time. You understand? But my mum never has time to listen to me speak. She never has time for me to coach her about anything because she's very smart. You understand? She's too smart for everything. I mean, that's what my mum thinks about everything, that she's very smart about everything. And she thinks that she's smart about health as well, but she doesn't look good in her health at the moment. So it's much more how, when she shops, I mean, you should see the chaos. I mean, it's chaos. You have to understand how much chaos there is when my mum goes shopping. I mean, she overspends, she overdoes it, do you understand? And my mum has better, let's say, financial management than my dad. Whereas my mum is much more financially secure than my dad is. And my mum is much more careful about how she invests her money than my dad, for example. But myself, I'm even much more careful about how I invest my money than my mum and dad. But all I need to do now is just succeed in what I do, for example. So it's much more how it is. So for myself now to do my work here, what else I can, but do I want to be with my mum now? Probably no. I don't want to be around my mum right now. And why is that? Probably just because I've been around her the whole day so far. And I feel like I just want to be alone. I just want to go alone somewhere. I want to have my own time off, away from my mother for a bit. You understand? Because when you're too into somebody, you understand, you just become too much into them in a way that you start becoming those people that you surround yourself with. You understand? But what my goals are with my mother is to never argue with her. I don't want to argue about anything. I want to be agreeable with my mother. I want to be agreeable with people so that I can live my life to the best potential that I can every single day. And so I live my life to the best potential that I can do. And it's just different. Probably things are different for me. And I'm living life differently. And now since I'm in Germany, Frankfurt, I realize it's not going to be forever. Do you understand? Apparently this is too sharp ass. But I'm in a different stage of my life now. I'm getting wiser about things. I'm doing things differently. I'm experiencing new things for myself. I'm helping myself to become free. I'm doing the best I can for myself to succeed. And that's what I need to do all the time. I need to be able to succeed. I need to be able to live my life accordingly to how I live it. Because that's the only way. And my life is different. I mean, what can I say about my life? I live differently. You know what I'm saying? I live in a different fashion. I live in a different fashion statement. I do things differently for myself to succeed. But I have to see what I can do to live my life. I have to do life differently. But I don't want to get sick. So I live my life to the utmost potential that I can live life on. I do something different for myself. And it's about waking up early. I see it's about doing my work on my spare time over here. Doing whatever I can to succeed. Helping myself to live a great life for myself. And if my mum walks in and asks me what am I doing, I just say I'm doing my life coaching and nothing else. And it's much more how I just don't want to lie. Yes, I don't want to lie about who I am. I want to grow with who I am. I want to do something different with who I am. I want to go places. I want to see things. I want to experiment. I want to experience new things for myself. But my mum definitely gave me a richer lifestyle today. And she did. She gave me something that is validation. She gave me validation. She gave me money. She gave me love. She gave me plenty of everything. Do you understand? And she only means the best for me. She wants good for me. She wants me to have food and drink. She wants me to have dinner on the table every day. Yes, and she wants me to live a life great. She wants me to live a great life. And sometimes you always have to understand that if a poor person asks you for money, that you just give something. Just give something to them and that way you'll succeed. You understand? Help people regardless of how you are. You understand? So you have to live life the best way you can. So if you are learning anything about this audio program, it's just the way I am. It's something that lives inside of me. Something that is. Something that always will be. You understand? So when I grow myself differently. And I need to do my quotes. I need to do my work. But the thing is that I see how much hours I can put into that, for example. And then my mum may get angry because I'm doing my passions, for example. And if she does, then so be it. The thing is that she wants me to sleep now. She wants me to go sleep. She wants me to just She wants me to help myself to live accordingly to how I am. But things are different now. I'm understanding that I'm just in a different time zone now. You understand? I'm just doing things differently. And that's how it's meant to be. That's how you're meant to be in life. You're meant to be doing things differently for yourself. So you can live life, so that you can coach, so that you can do whatever you want to do. And you live life to the best extent possible like this. And that's how it is. So if you grow because you want to grow. And because you have to grow. And because you must grow. So you just grow. And that way you live a great life for yourself. You do stuff alone. You understand? You go alone sometimes. I always have to recalculate everything that my mum's doing to me in terms of life. And she does it for me, but the universe is giving me abundance. And the universe right now is saying that I deserve abundance in my life. And that I deserve more. That's what the universe is trying to give me, for example. So that's what I'm doing now. So the universe is just in a time space over here where the universe is saying, hey, you're doing your work, but you're here to also live out your life in accordingly to the universe's way of life, happily ever after. You understand? So you have to be happy. You have to understand that you have to go the way of happiness, and you have to live on your own terms. But that's how you do it. You understand? That's what you do in life. You succeed differently. You just make sure that you help yourself to succeed in the best way possible. So if you've learned anything from this audio program, it's just be the best you can be every single day. Be alone, have your own time to yourself, do things differently, and let it be like that. You understand? So anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this audio program, and see you guys in my next programs.
Anyway, guys, so here I am at my mum's house, and so far it's day 2 now. And I've been walking around today and just been going around the bush over here in Germany, and just been doing my own thing with my mum and Toma, which is my mum's boyfriend. And you have to understand that my mum is very crazy around food, and she's trying to help me lose weight, but the thing is that she doesn't know how to do it. And the thing is, it's much more how she's trying to keep me away from fatty foods and all that stuff, so it's good for me. The thing is that she feeds me things like, for example, that's meat, and that's not on my calendar in terms of things that I would eat as a person. So it's much more how I need to discipline myself over here to stay away from food. But the thing is that currently I'm just in another world at the moment. I realize it's much more how I have less time now to be able to read and to be able to do stuff on my own accord. For example, I feel new. I feel that I have to invest time with my mother. I have to be around my mother as much as possible so that I can live much better. But the thing is that I also want that communication with my mother. For example, the thing is that I'm slowly learning exactly what I need to do around my mother and how to do it. But as time progresses, there is more time for things to do for myself to help myself to succeed. And I'm understanding that. So, for example, if I go and check out Bet365 right now, I want to see if they placed any odds on Serbia and stuff like that to be able to play, in terms of to be able to go and do whatever you need to do to succeed. So it's much more how I think it's M7 M1007, and I'm just over here just doing my life over here in a way that I'm controlling my tempo and controlling myself the best way I can so I can live my life. But it's much more how it is, guys, and you have to always help yourself to succeed. You have to do that for yourself. You have to recognize how much different ways of things are in your life, and how you really see how to seek out things for yourself where you're actually helping yourself to grow in the best kind of direction forward. And you have to understand, I understand exactly why, for example, why this is happening to me right now. And the universe is trying to give me things. I mean, the universe is trying to make me abundant right now. But life with my mum is different. It's a different world totally to my dad and my mum. So my dad, in terms of my dad's house, I understand exactly how to live with my dad. And I understand exactly how to move forward with my dad as well. The thing is that with my mum, I understand exactly how to also do things with her. But the thing is that with her, I remain silent much more often. And I'm much more often silent with her just to be on the good side of hers. And the thing is that sometimes I don't do what's good for me in life because I try to impress upon my mother in a way that to make her happy, but it's not the way to go. So for myself over here, I'm understanding that life is different for me now. I'm doing things differently. I'm helping myself to do a different way of life. But do I need my mother right now? I probably no. I don't need her right now. I mean, do I need to be around her right now? Probably, guess what? Probably no. I don't have to be around her. I don't need her in my life. For example, all I need is myself over here. You understand? But the thing is that eventually I come to the point where I'm alone, just with myself. You understand? And that's going to be the best time for me, because nobody's going to be judging me. Unfortunately, nobody's going to be telling me what to do and how to do it anymore.
and I'm going to be able to live accordingly to how I want to live for the rest of my life. You understand? And that's how I'm understanding that it's much more how my dad won't smoke around me, my mum won't feed me food. You understand? My dad won't feed me food either, and I'll be eating things according to how I do it. So I'm much more prepared in the future to be able to do so than ever before. And I won't be smoking in a greater time as well. I'm understanding that. And now, do I want to quit smoking? I probably not yet. I mean, do I feel like a coffee right now? I probably no. I don't feel like a coffee. But the thing is that it's much more how it is. And now my dad's probably watching Balkanium at the moment. He's probably watching the soccer, and he's trying to get himself in the headspace in terms of that way of life. But I'm understanding that today is a Sunday, so over there it's a Sunday morning, for example. I think actually, so over there it's 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. So it's much more how it might be Amira's house, but don't think so. And it's much more how I'm just learning how to do my own life over here, helping myself to be the best version of myself as much as I can be. Help myself to deliver content, help myself to do better for myself, loving my life, relaxing as much as I can. And this truly feels like a holiday. I promise you, it feels like a holiday right now. It feels like just settle down in a way that I'm traveling, I'm doing things. I'm with my mum finally after 5 years. I mean, it's been a long time, and I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to see exactly how to speak to my mum and how to go about life with her and how to do life with her, for example. But never tell people that you stink. I mean, never tell people that they stink, because it's so stupid. You know how stupid it is when someone tells you that you stink? I mean, that's the stupidest thing that's the stupidest thing in the world to say to people. You understand? And the thing is that I know that Jesus Christ said to people, you guys are hypocrites. But the thing is that it's different. I promise you. He was being honest. I mean, he was being truthful. You understand? But the thing is that when people say that you stink, I mean, you don't really stink. I mean, it's so stupid to say that. You understand? Because no matter how you smell, I mean, it's just an aura. I mean, it's just a different aura. I mean, it's just like, why even say it for? I mean, why even block yourself out of it, for example? Why even go there, for example? So, things are different for me now. I'm understanding it's much more how I need to grow. Now I have to do some audio programs. I have to do uploading. I have work to do. I have my own work to do, for example. And all I want to do now is just be with my mum, for example. I mean, I just feel like being with my mum, for example. Just being with her. Just seeing what she wants me to do, for example. Being alone, having my alone time. But there is a time and place for that. And do I feel like doing quotes right now? I can do some quotes. You understand? I can do a lot of quotes, for example. But the thing is that eventually I have to grow myself in a different manner. I have to make sure every single day is going to be a new day, recording new audio programs, making something new for you guys, excelling at something. You understand? And sometimes you have to do without things. You have to go without something in life. You understand? You have to learn how to adapt to different life circumstances, different ways of thinking, different ways of doing. You understand? And then you'll learn something. You'll learn something from that. So anyway, guys, I hope that you guys have enjoyed my audio program. I mean, every single day, just make sure that you're learning and growing and just becoming the best version of yourself. See, anyway, guys, so I'm just over here watching football, for example. And you have to understand that recently I went into a website that my dad watches soccer on. And the thing is that he's unable to watch soccer now because of me.
because you cannot log into two accounts at a time. In terms of two accounts cannot be logged into the same account, and they closed off their account. They closed off the website in terms of that username that my dad used to watch soccer on. And it's much more how these days now he has to reinvent the password, and he has to get himself a new password, so that he doesn't want to give it to me. He doesn't want to give me a password because I logged into the account while he was trying to watch football, and now he cannot watch football because of me. But the thing is that now, since he's not going to give me a password, I'm going to have my own account with that website, which is called Balkanium, so that I can watch football or whatever I need to watch on the Balkanium website and stuff like that. But the thing is, guys, you have to understand to never feel sorry for anybody. I also made an account for my dad over here. I made an account to watch football on with Balkanium, and my dad didn't want to type in the password and the username to be able to watch the soccer in terms of Serbia versus Slovenia. But that's up to him. You understand? I mean, he didn't want to watch. I gave it to him, and he doesn't want to watch it. So the thing is that he makes a problem out of it. And if you make problems out of things, then you're never going to solve them. You understand? So make sure every single day that you're always doing something to help your life to succeed in a way that's working for you. So far, my whole day over here in Germany right now, where I'm with my mother at the moment, I see things are happening in my life where I'm going to be losing weight. And I'm going to be losing weight fast because I'm not going to be eating my dad's food, and I'm not going to be eating stuff that my dad makes for me, for example. Because my dad used to get me kebabs and pizzas and McDonald's, and also all this food like chips and stuff like that he used to make for me, and he has biscuits on the table and chocolate and stuff like that. So what I want to do is discipline myself even more now to be able to get back to shape with my mum over here, because my mum's going to be making me food. But the thing is that I eventually need to grow myself anyway, and I need to go and do a better life for myself regardless of the situation. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, is just a different way of life for different ways of thinking. And I'm really happy right now because I'm not working a 9-to-5 job and I'm on holidays, but I'm also working and I'm doing my passions as much as possible now as well. So it's much more how I can watch the soccer game right now. I can watch the soccer game between Slovenia and Serbia and be talking to you as well at the same time and be productive like this. So this is how I can watch football for myself while actually documenting everything while I'm doing it, in terms of while I'm doing so. So it's much more how I need to always grow myself in the moment every day, and I need to go and do something better for myself so that I'm helping myself grow, because that's how it is. You grow through different abilities and different ways of saying something. And now, do I miss busking performances? I do. I want to go and busk in Australia. Once I go back to Australia, I want to go do a busking performance for myself. But things are going to slow down in terms of inside of Australia. But the thing is, I'm growing myself fast enough in a way that I'm doing things in a different tone, and I'm doing things differently for myself to actually help myself to do better. So what I want to do now is just grow. I want to be able to express myself and my nature, and I want to just say what's on my mind so that I can help you grow and nothing else. So for example, I'm understanding that if you give a password to someone, then you make sure you understand that those people are going to stuff you up, because they always get into your accounts and they screw everything up for you. So never give away your password to anyone. You understand? Make sure that you keep your passwords to yourself and subscribe to your own way of life. For example, my mum over here has Netflix, and she's going to give me her password and stuff like that so that I can watch Netflix. But once I go to Serbia, I have to have my own account. I mean, once I go to Australia and Serbia or anywhere else, I have to have my own account. I cannot be watching Netflix on her account always. You understand? So, because otherwise they shut down the Netflix altogether, and they shut down the system for you to watch on the applications. So
You have to understand that since they shut down the system, then you have to understand that you have to reactivate it somehow for yourself to grow, and that way you just have to you have to deal with it. You have to deal with a different way of life for yourself and for everything else that's happening for you in the moment. Do you understand? Because that's the way you grow. You grow in different ways of helping yourself to deliver content. Do you understand? You have to always do that for yourself, always. You have to understand that it's just the way it is. So you grow yourself the best way you can, and you help yourself to do better for yourself. Do you understand? And that's what you have to understand about life and about learning and about everything about life. You have to be able to grow.
Yeah.
See, anyway, guys, so you have to understand something. You can never, ever teach people anything who don't want to learn anything from you. I just had a conversation with some people, and the thing is that they tell me don't try to outsmart me, or they say something like, don't try to make me smart. Don't try to make me smart. I mean, that's the stupidest saying in the world that you can do to anybody in terms of for anybody. You have to understand that if people are trying to tell you something, that's when you listen. You don't tell them to never make you smart, because that's so stupid. I mean, it's so ignorant. Do you understand? So never be ignorant. Be a person who understands people. Be a person who is willing to listen. And you have to understand my mother now. She's trying to make me go to bed. I'm not even tired, to be honest. I'm not even tired at all. You understand? And the thing is that I understand her. I understand she wants me to wake up early and stuff like that. I understand that. But the thing is that I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. You understand? I want to wake up when I want to wake up. You understand? That's how it is in life. And nobody can do anything to me. I mean, nobody can make me do anything. And my mom, in terms of my mom, starts to get, let's say, she starts to get offended by me when I say something that is, let's say, not hurting her, but in a way that when I say something specific, like I didn't throw the bread away, for example, she said, don't throw the bread away. I said, I didn't throw the bread away. I asked you what to do with this. You understand? So then she says, why are you angry? I'm not angry. I just said, this is what you said, this is what I said. You understand? So you have to understand that when you come from behind in life and you make a comeback, then that's the best decision in your life. And that's something that you have to do on a daily basis, where you make comebacks in life. And now I'm in a position to lose weight. I'm in a position to get a better outlook about life. And you have to understand it's more how other people try to make you stupid. They try to make you so stupid that they can never make you stupid. I mean, your wisdom is always your wisdom. But the thing is that I want to make people smarter, but I only want to make people smarter in terms of those people who are willing to get smarter. And so I only want to make people smart to the point of those people that want me to make them smart. Do you understand? Because I go to random people, for example, like my mum or Toma, which is my mum's boyfriend, and I try to say something about life, they're going to act like I'm a joke. I mean, you understand? They're going to treat me like everybody else, and they're going to treat me like, for example, in a way that I cannot teach them anything about life. There was a situation just recently where I said I have 1,000 hours of live coaching on YouTube, and out of a joke, Toma, which is my mum's boyfriend, says, "All right, go teach me something." Like, yeah, now you want me to teach you something after I said that I wrote 1,000 hours of YouTube content. You understand? Like, why don't you say that to me before I said that to you? For example, Why do you want me to teach you once you understand my specifics in life and once you understand my initials and stuff like that? So the thing is about life that time's going really quick. And because time's going really quick, I'm enjoying myself at the same time. And the thing is that I see that people around me are not happy. I see they're not happy. I see I'm doing my own thing. And I'm helping myself to become the best version of myself. But the thing is that you have to understand something. You have to be on your side. Because if you're not on your side, then you can never ever teach anybody anything. You understand? So you have to be on your side if you want to be somewhere much more special. You understand? So every single day you learn so that you can grow. You understand? And because you grow, you actually every single day are doing much better because you're doing something in regards to helping yourself. And that's what you guys need to do, guys. You need to learn how to absorb your feelings. You understand? So how you do that is you be in the body. You be in the body and you embody yourself in a version of greatness. And you try to really, really help yourself to succeed. You understand? So if you've learned anything from this program, it's that you have to always help yourself in the best kind of way. And you have to start doing things for yourself. You understand? You have to go through life happening. You understand? You have to happen for yourself. You have to lecture people and you have to help yourself to give out your word. I see small guys that you have to realize that I do life coaching not because of my mum, not because of my dad, not because of anyone else. I choose to do life coaching because I see a clear specific of what I can teach through words. I can go many dimensions in the way I speak words. I can go anywhere I want through the words I speak. Do you understand? But the best conversation you're ever going to have is with yourself because you will understand yourself the most. And you have to understand that other people are not going to understand you like you understand yourself. You understand? And if people are willing to be open-minded to understand you completely, then they would understand how ignorant they are and they will become much more aware through you to become that self that they want to be. You understand? So, for example, when people are teaching, they enter this state of consciousness where they're the alpha male or the alpha female and they're the dominant over people and they're always growing because they understand how to teach people. You understand? So do I feel like going to bed right now? I promise you no. And now, when's the best time for me to go to bed right now? I promise you it's much more how the best time for me to go to bed is when I say so. When I say to go to bed, that's the time I go to bed. And now I understand that my mum may get angry at me for staying up late. You understand? But the thing is that she's not the boss of me. You understand? She's not the boss of me in life. And nobody is the boss of me in life. In a sense, so what I do on a daily basis concerns nobody else except me. You understand? So I try from my best heart to support myself to do better because that's what I do. So if I have learned anything in life, it's that I have to become the best version of myself, regardless of what anyone else thinks of me. Do you understand? And that's the thing about life. Like today, for example, I had a good day. I went for a walk. I went and seen places. I've seen different things. My mum took me out. I mean, I appreciate everything that my mum's done for me. I mean, my mum's done for me more than most people in life. But I've done for myself even more than my mum. Do you understand? You have to understand that the moment other people are doing more for you than you are doing for yourself, the more you're going to be less appreciative about all of that in terms of what's given to you. In a sense, if you're doing the most you can and you're making the most of your life, then you're always going to appreciate the smallest aspects of life. You understand? Because you're doing the work, you're doing everything to support yourself in a way of life. In a sense, so if you really want to succeed and move forward, you have to understand that there's always a way. There's always a way for you to do anything you want in life, to coach people, to love people, to understand how to grow, to be spiritual, to be someone that you want to be. So, what you can do, for example, is you can watch a TV show and you can just speak words at the same time, and you can document everything at the same time as well. You understand? And that's a life skill that you can do and teach other people. And what I teach you is what you teach other people, for example. You understand? I mean, all I'm teaching you is the basic fundamentals of life. I'm teaching you something different that nobody else is teaching you. You understand? Because everyone's unique to their own ability, and everybody has their own take upon life. So, for example, Toma, my mum's boyfriend, goes to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my mum is never upset with him. So why do you get upset with me if I go to bed at 12 a.m., for example? I mean, do you understand? I mean, why do you get upset with me but not with Toma? I mean, do you understand? It doesn't make sense. I mean, why do you try to control me and my life? You understand? Just let me be myself. Let me do what I want to do. Let me go sleep when I want to go sleep. You understand? When I feel like going to sleep, I'm gonna go sleep. That's how it is. You understand? But I'm feeling that I'm not in jet lag at the moment. And I'm just doing my life. I'm doing something that is beneficial to me, and I'm helping myself to succeed. But I understand my mum. I understand where she's coming from. I understand that she wants me to go to sleep early, wake up early. You understand? But sometimes it's not always like that. You understand? It's not always that you have to do that for yourself. You don't have to do that for yourself. You can do whatever you want. You understand? But the thing is that it's much better to go sleep early and wake up early. You understand? That's how life is. You understand? And now, am I getting tired? I promise you, yeah, I'm getting tired. But I'm gonna go to bed when the best time fits me in terms of to suit my needs. You understand? So that's how I grow. I grow through different abilities always. I do things for myself to grow, and I do things to help myself to succeed. That's what I need to do. But you cannot teach people anything, except you can only teach yourself the most. You understand? Teach yourself at least how to live life. Teach yourself what you need to do about life to succeed. Because once you teach yourself everything, then you're always gonna really, really deal with life on a daily basis much better. You understand? So that's how it is, and that's how you grow. And you actually help yourself to do a better way of life. And try to never argue with people. You understand? But that's the way it is, guys. So you have to learn how to appreciate yourself the most. You understand? Try to help yourself to succeed. Try to grow. Try to be someone that is much more special every single day. Learning to appreciate the finer things in life. Learning to do your life in a different way all the time. And now I'm on holidays at the moment, but I'm still working. I'm still doing my life coaching. Do you understand? And the thing is that when I get a 9 to 5 job, I'm still going to be able to do my passions. But the thing is that I want to ask myself the question, is having a family something that is my passion? Actually, yeah. So because of that, I need to work 9 to 5, and I need to make the 9 to 5 job my passion, so that I can make money, which is my passion, to help support my family. Yes, and that's what most people are doing, and it's not hard. It's not hard to do that. You understand? I mean, people are doing it all over the place. They're going 9 to 5 jobs that they hate. They're working 9 to 5. They're working like a horse for money. You understand? I mean, that's life trying to teach you something. You understand? But it won't last forever. I mean, do you understand? So, some people have it better than others. But everyone's going through the same learning period. And everyone's going through the same hours of the day. You understand? I mean, everyone's doing their own life differently. So, if you want to succeed, you succeed because you learn. And because you learn, you help yourself to understand much more about life. But that's how it is, you understand? And I'm always willing to help myself to understand much more about life, you understand? But what you do with people who don't want to listen to you is you listen to them. You understand? You stay more silent in front of them and don't try to teach other people anything. You understand? Overall, the universe is telling me don't try to teach other people anything when you're in front of them. Try to teach yourself the most and try to teach people online the most. You understand? And whoever goes into your channel is willing to help you to do your work for you. You understand? So the thing is that there's a new way to live life now, and that is that you do your work online. You understand? So anything that you are teaching about or learning to teach other people with is you teach people online only. You don't teach anyone else anything about life. Do you understand? Because people in daily life don't want to listen to you. You understand? They want to listen to themselves. And that's what they don't understand. That's why they're losing. When you understand, they don't have open minds. So make sure you understand that people in daily life don't want to learn, but that's up to them. I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to understand that since they don't, since they don't want to learn, that's their choice. I mean, you cannot change that. You understand? But what you can change is yourself. You can change yourself. You can help yourself to do better in life in all areas of life, and that's the best you can do. You understand? So what you do is you grow. You grow yourself in the best type of way forward. And you have to understand that what you do in life is your choice. And so when you go through life, you do things for your own accord. See guys, so I have some information over here that's coming to me. So what I'm thinking about over here is just my mum. I'm thinking about the holidays. I'm thinking about my life over here. I'm thinking about how I have to work a 9 to 5 job. I'm thinking about how I'm losing weight at the moment in some ways. I'm understanding that my dad's going away from me. I understand I'm entering a new phase of life. I'm entering something new for myself. I'm going new places. I'm doing something different for myself. But what I need to do here, what I need to do is grow. I mean, but I just want to talk. I want to just express myself in different ways all the time. And I want to make sure that I'm doing myself a favor. And I want to make sure I'm learning. So when I learn, I grow, and that's how I do things. But I can feel myself getting tired, and I'm getting tired. But the thing is, I want to stay up. I want to do better. I mean, do I want to do my quotes? I probably should. Nah, not yet. I understand it's much more how I'm been failing in many areas of life. You understand? And the thing is that what I need to do is always grow myself to the best ability that I can. But the thing is that any amount of screen time or anything in terms of life where I perform doing something with other people, I'm sure other people want to shape you into their way of thinking. And now you have to do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually grow. And now the thing is that I'm drinking my mum's coffee here, and I have nothing against that coffee. You have to understand that my mum's coffee is different, and it's not as strong as my dad's coffee, for example. And that's a good thing about it. You understand? And the thing about life is I was drinking strong coffee. I was drinking really strong coffee. And now I never want to go back to that person ever again. But it's more how I'm learning that there's big differences in my life. I mean, there's big differences in the way I speak and in the way I do things now than before. And I'm in a different position than I am now. And I'm actually growing myself, and I'm growing the best way I can. But this is the best I could do for myself, which is speak more words, because that's what teaches me about life. And I can only ever teach myself about life. I can never teach anyone else anything. You understand? Because it's up to you to learn. I mean, it's up to you to teach exactly what you want to understand about life. So it's much more how it is. So you have to understand that if you really want to help to perform at your best, then you have to understand how to really talk the best way you can. And you have to understand that you have to deliver content in ways that is different all the time, so you can actually learn how to perform at your best. You understand? So every single day, all you're really looking to do is grow. You're growing every single day, and that's what you need to do. You understand? So I feel that I've been investing time into soccer more than being with my mum, for example. And what's more important to me right now is my mum. I understand that. But the thing is that I want to be alone as well. I want to be doing coaching. I want to be understanding that my life coaching is much more important than my mum. You understand? I'd rather be doing life coaching than being with my mum. You understand? And why is that? Because life coaching means more to me than my mum. You understand? Because life coaching is everything to me. You understand? And you have to understand that my mum means a lot to me, but she doesn't mean to me as much as my passions. You understand? And the thing is that my mum is my passion. My mum is my passion, but she doesn't mean more to me than life coaching, for example. So there's a big difference, you understand? And the thing is that she doesn't listen to the stuff that I talk about. You understand? She doesn't listen to me much. You understand? I mean, those people around you cannot teach them anything. You have to understand that. Be more silent with those people and be acting stupid. Be stupid in front of those people. You understand? The more stupid you are in front of those people, the better you're going to become. You understand? So when you put words in people's mouths, they get angry at you. You understand? The thing is that my mom asked me a question here, and that's it. She means good about me, and she means good about everything. I gave her a kiss and everything like that, just in case that she doesn't think that I'm doing anything behind her back or anything like that. But the thing is that I'm not doing anything behind her back. I'm just talking. I'm just talking words. And because I'm talking words, I'm doing things differently. And that's what I need to be doing all the time. I need to be making myself successful every single day. But the thing is that my soccer time here is not going into, let's say, a waste of time, because I'm actually watching soccer, and I get to watch soccer, and I get to do my life coaching at the same time. And the thing is, that's what helps me to move forward, which is my documentation of myself. Every single day, documenting, doing the things that I need to do, speaking out the words I need to speak out. You understand? Because that's my life coaching time. And my life coaching time is when I watch soccer, for example, or watch football. You understand? And doing things to help myself to succeed. And that's what I need to do all the time. But now I'm understanding that my dad's not going to give me any more passwords of his. So that's up to him. And he doesn't have to anymore. I don't need his password anyway. I don't need it. I don't do anything other than do greater for myself. And I just make sure that I'm learning. And that's what I need to actually do all the time for myself. So every single day I'm always helping myself to grow, you understand? Because that's what I do. But what else is going on through my mind is just different. I mean, I feel different now. I'm with my mum. I'm much more in a supportive environment than... I mean, am I in a much more supportive environment? I mean, my dad gave me a supportive environment as well, and my mum gives me a supportive environment. But the thing is that my mum is much smarter than my dad in English. You understand? She's much more smarter than my dad in English, but she's also very ignorant, just like my dad is. You understand? She's exactly ignorant just as much as my dad. You understand? So you have to understand that I'm not ignorant at all. I help myself to understand things about life. And the thing is that it's about doing, you understand? And the more you do, the better for you. So you have to make that decision. You have to make the decision to grow yourself in a way that's always helping you grow. You understand? So you have to understand it's the only way forward. So every single day, just do the best you can, and that's all you can do. You understand? Just do the best you can. Oh, I understand. So if you really want to watch yourself grow, you have to understand it's much more about observing your thoughts, observing the things around you, making sure that you're growing yourself in different ways all the time, and that's the way it is. So my mum, I think, switched off the internet, and I just let it be. So what I do now is just grow. I see if she doesn't want to help me watch my soccer, then it's alright. I grow myself anyway. So it's much more how I just let it be now. I see it's much more how my mum switched off the internet, and she wants to stop me from watching football, for example, and I just let it be. You understand? So for myself over here, I'm understanding that maybe she didn't switch off the internet, but if she did, then it's because she doesn't want me to be up late. You understand? So that's the way it is, guys. Just grow yourself anyway. Just love yourself, and every single day talk it out with yourself so that you can grow and so you can become everything you ever want to be. Yes, and that's what you need to be doing all the time. You need to be growing yourself. You need to be alone. You have to be alone with yourself. You have to grow yourself every single day. Do the best you can. Summarize everything into an audio program every single day. Grow. Be the best version of yourself. Understand how to grow. For example, do things out of the ordinary. Do something you've never done. Go places you've never been. You understand? And that's how I'm understanding that every single day is always a new day for me. And I'm always going new places. You understand? I'm always, every single day, going to a new place for myself. Because that's how I see life. I see life in different ways. And because I see life in different ways, I actually grow. I grow from it. You understand? And because I grow from the outcomes of my life, I'm actually always much more capable. I'm much more capable of doing things that help me to elaborate. So when I elaborate, I help myself to grow, and that's what I do all the time. And I help myself to do something that is helping me to recognize things, because that's how I see life. I see life by recognizing. I recognize what I can out of life, and because I do that for myself, I'm actually going new places all the time. I'm actually going different places about life, because I'm actually about seeing things differently all the time. And because I see things differently all the time, I'm actually always encouraging myself to grow the best way I can, or know how. You understand? And that's what I need to be doing all the time, for example, because that's what helps me grow the most about life. So right now I'm understanding that if I really do anything to help myself to succeed, then I help myself to become that version of myself that's always helping myself to redirect things for myself to help myself to grow. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be helping myself regardless of the situation every single day. So what I'm doing every single day is always new, and I'm always delivering on what I say and what I do, for example. And because I do that for myself, I have a better way of life. I always have something much more to say. I have something much more to do than the person I am today. I have more purposes. I have more driven ability to succeed every single day. I'm always understanding that. And there's always a way forward for your life and for everything that you want to be doing for yourself. But things are always changing. I mean, things are always different. And that's how it's meant to be, guys. It's meant to be different. It's meant to be a roller coaster. I mean, you understand? Because every single day you grow, you always grow the best way you can. and you grow from it. You grow from who you are. You understand? You grow from having nothing to having something in life. And that's how you grow all the time. You grow by making changes. And when you make a change, you grow yourself in the best kind of way forward. And that's what makes a difference in life. So you make a difference all the time with yourself and other people. And then you grow from that. And then you see exactly what you need to do to succeed even more. But all you can really give, guys, is words. Words is the best thing you can give to people. You understand? You have to understand that the words that come out of your mind and out of your life are things that change people. I mean, it's things that opens people's perspectives up. You understand? And that's what helps people the most in life. So if you've learned anything from this support program, it's that you have to always keep lifting other people up. You have to understand that in daily life, make sure that you stay silent with people as much as possible. And that way you grow yourself the best you can. And because you do the most you can in life, you succeed even more because of that. So just do your best. Do your best every single day. And that way you actually grow. And you have to understand that no matter what happens, you always have to do better for yourself and for other people. But you do it for yourself the most. You understand? Because everything that I am is because of the words I spoke every single day. You understand? And you have to understand, I am the words I speak and nothing else. You understand? I am always. I'm everything in the words. I'm everything in everything that I do. You understand? And that's what helps me the most. So I'm finding out over here that my mum didn't switch off the internet. I understand she's not against me. She wants me to live life. She wants me to be happy. But she also wants me to do better. Do you understand? And I understand I want to do better for myself as well. But the thing is that I'm always helping myself to include things for myself in a different way. So I succeed. And that's what I always need to do for myself. I always need to be able to grow myself the best way I can. You understand? And that's what helps me to do the best. You understand? And every single day I'm always growing. I'm always growing the best way I can. You understand? So for myself over here to do better, I have to give words. I have to give you something to succeed with. I have to leave you with something. I have to make sure that I'm growing myself the best way I can all the time. And the best way I can do that is always to experience new things for myself, to say things from what I do in a different way, and to be on everyone's good side. You understand? But actually, God always wants to be on your good side. You understand? All the time. You understand? So if you're always against God, then you're against everything. Do you understand? So make sure you never be against anything. Make sure that you are always for everything. Make sure that you understand how to grow from what you are and how to become much more spiritual about life. But that's how it is. That's how you grow. You grow through different ways. You grow through helping. And that's what you need to do all the time. And that's how you grow, guys. You grow through the best interest every single day. You interest yourself to become more about life. Do you understand? And when you do that for yourself, you actually grow. You grow into the best version of yourself every day, and you just fly off the eagles. You make sure that you're delivering that content. But the thing is that now, since I'm over here and my holidays over here, I find more time now where I can be alone. I can make sure I can speak words. I can talk it out with myself. And my mum wants me to do the best. She wants me to do the best job. She wants me to be at my best. Do you understand? She wants me to lose weight. She's helping me lose weight. And she's helping me lose weight, to be honest. I see that. But I'm no longer in a toxic environment, for example. But I'm still in a toxic environment because my mum and Tom smoke. They smoke around me. You understand? And they're always smoking around me as well. So the thing is that I have to learn to adapt to different circumstances. When you understand, I have to learn to be with it. I have to learn to be different in different ways, learning how to succeed on my own time. You understand? That's what I need to be doing all the time. I need to be making a difference through words, because that's the only way I succeed. I succeed through making a difference. You understand? And when I do that for myself, I help myself. I help myself do differently. I help myself do different tasks differently. I help myself to understand much more about life. And that's how I grow. I grow through the best chances in the world. And that's how I actually succeed all the time. And every single day that I do something that helps me grow, I'm always understanding how to do that. I'm understanding how to talk it up with myself. But nobody's going to listen to you more than you listen to yourself. You have to understand that. Personally, nobody's going to talk to you like you talk to yourself. You understand? And if you grow yourself the best way you can, you just help yourself to do better for yourself every single day. That's how you grow. You grow through better ways of thinking, better ways of doing, better ways of living. Do you understand? That's what you need to do all the time. You always need to be living the best way you can. But this is enough soccer for today. Slovenia, Serbia is 2-2 in result, and now I just go and do better. And anyway, guys, so make sure that you're learning how to grow. Make sure that you're actually helping yourself to overcome obstacles in your life. And just make sure that you understand that, for example, my mum over here, she doesn't want me to call the Samsung people over here to fix my account. But don't worry, I'll do that in Australia, for example. And I'll just make sure that I'm living my life and maneuvering my way through life. I think my mum's going to say go to bed now and stuff like that. So it's different. I'll just do a different way of life now. Regardless of what's happening, I'm doing something different. So anyway, guys, so today I went to Mainz with my mum. And we just went shopping. We did some shopping, went for food and drink over here in terms of the restaurants out there. And we just made sure that we had the time to go to do some clothes and some nice and beautiful walking materials, where we just walked alongside the bridge of Mainz and we just walked around the city. And I had a good time today. But the thing is that I have to grow. I have to make sure I'm doing something to grow myself daily so that I'm helping myself move forward quicker. And now that's the whole deal, that when you are growing yourself quickly, you can make sure every single day of your life is going to become something more fashionable for yourself, where you actually grow and we actually do life on a daily basis in a better way. I mean, understand? Because that's the whole point of life. I mean, the whole point of life is always to do better for yourself and to do better for other people, for example. So when you're growing yourself, you're actually always in the moment and you're doing something in regards to helping yourself to become everything that you want to be and everything that you want to become in life. So you have to actually grow. You have to do something today to succeed. So for example, now I find myself, for example, not having much time to read, for example. In terms of life, I understand that I do have a chance to read and stuff like that. I do have some chance to win over the crowd and stuff like that. But the thing is that the thing I have to work on in my life is always different. I always have a different view. I have a different way of art form. Do you understand? And the thing is that when I grow myself in the best possible way,
I'm actually always growing myself in different ways moving forward. And that's the whole point of life, which is always to grow yourself the best way you can. You have to understand that no matter what happens in life, that you always succeed in the better direction, always go the better direction for yourself, so that you're growing yourself in the best kind of outcome possible for yourself to grow. You understand? Because that's what counts, guys. What counts is you. I mean, you count in life to always penetrate yourself in a better way, where you're actually growing yourself and doing something productive for yourself every single day, making sure that you're delivering content. But my mum is happy with me at the moment. She's happy with me, my progress and stuff like that. And it's just different to be around my mum for a change, because I grew up without my mum. I grew up a lot of the time without my mum, and to finally be with my mum is just a different kind of thing that goes well for me in daily life, where I'm growing from every outcome, I'm growing from every possibility out there, and I'm just doing the best way I can. I'm just doing the best job that I can, but I have to stay on task. I have to do my life in a way that is helping me to move forward. I need to be able to predict time and nature, and be able to understand much more the predicament of time and value, and being able to just grow from all my predicaments and everything like that, so that I can actually help myself to grow. And that's what I need to do all the time to actually grow myself, which is just do the best job that I can for myself every single day, and just learn how to persuade myself to understand that when you walk, you talk, for example. So when you are the best version of yourself, you do the best you can. For example, so that's just one of my quotes that I'm gonna write down into a quote for myself, and I'm just gonna post that online for other people to see, for example. So it's more how you have to summarize everything in a quote, and you have to understand that you have to do as much as possible every single day to succeed. But there's no point in doing quotes if you're not going to teach people anything. Do you understand? So if you don't teach people stuff